So Autochek is one of the automotive technology companies that's looking to make car or vehicle ownership more accessible and easy across the African continent. The launch of the Autochek Financial Services is one of the new innovations that aim to support Africa's automotive ecosystem. For more on this, I'm joined now by the Senior Vice President West Africa at Autochek, Mayokun Fadeyibi. Thank you so much, madam. It's good to have you on the show.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Let's talk about vehicle ownership. When you talk about it in Africa, across Africa, we're looking at about 44 cars per 100 persons. The global average is about 180. Why is that so?
So I would say the major issue is affordability. If you look at GDP per capita across Africa, it currently sits at about $2,000, while the average car prices of vehicles sits about $5,000 and climbing. So essentially, financing becomes that critical aspect to really close that gap between affordability and access to the vehicles. So essentially for us at Autochek, we truly believe in the power of financing to solve what I would call transportation poverty, because really transportation poverty is lacking that access to transportation that helps you fulfill your economic activities, from getting to your job, from running your business. So financing becomes a very critical factor in that regard.
But what about risks to dealers if folks just take a car, get in it, drive away and disappear? That's on the dealer's side, but there's also the risk on the buyer's side if, if they're sure that they're getting value for money.
So that's essentially where Autochek comes in, right? For Autochek, what we do is we're bringing all the stakeholders in the ecosystem together, from the dealers to the customers to the financial partners. And what we do is be able to then layer on that data to make sure that everyone can transact safely. So in that regard, the customer can come to the Autochek platform, see the vehicles that Autochek has inspected. The finance partner can trust our decision models, which we have layered all the data together to truly assess a customer's ability, and also layering on even the residual value of vehicles. So that way they know that they can safely trust the financing that they're applying on this vehicle.
Well, some folks are averse to buying things in credit. So what needs to be done to change people's mindset on this?
Education. In our parts of the world, credit is not something that people are very familiar with. So we need to do a lot of work just around educating people that credit is good. Actually building that creditworthy profile is also very good. Being able to know that, one, you can access credit, one, you've built up that from your information, your income, your turnover. The financial partner can trust you to give you credit. And then when you access that credit, actually repaying that credit, it means you can then open yourself up to even access more levels of credit. So we just need to do a lot of education around the fact that credit is not a bad thing. And I think that's where we are in our part of the world right now.
I understand how folks feel that it's my money, so I bought it. But again, it's a credit culture that we've got to do. But again, here you are with the dealers and the buyers. Some banks in different jurisdictions, including Nigeria, are already producing vehicle financing. So what's going to be different with this Autochek financing program that you unveiled?
So essentially with Autochek financing, what we are doing is we're bringing all the stakeholders together. In most cases, at the moment, you have to go to individual financing partners as a customer to get access to financing. But now you can come to one platform and actually get access to multiple finance partners. So Autochek has been able to come in to actually democratize that access to financing for you and make essentially what we're doing is affordability and accessibility to the financing.
Okay, but how does that work? Is it just a Nigerian thing, or across the continent and the countries is it working?
Absolutely not. So Autochek is currently in West Africa. So we're in Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire in West Africa. We're also in East Africa, Uganda and Kenya. We're in North Africa, we're in Morocco as well, we're in Senegal. So we're actually quite expanded across different countries in Africa. And the aim is to continue to increase our penetration across African countries.
Well, so that's about car auto financing. What about the catalyzing growth across the automotive sector on the African continent itself?
So yes, we've talked about affordability, which is the key thing where financing comes in. The other side of it is what I would call after-sales services. Maintenance culture, being able to introduce that maintenance to vehicles. So if you get a vehicle, knowing that it has to go through that servicing at least 4 times a year. Let's increase the longevity of the vehicle. Insurance, putting insurance on the vehicle, protecting you as you're on the road. These are key factors that are very important for the growth. And the other side of it is what I talked about, bringing everybody together, the different stakeholders. There's currently a lot of siloed activity, but with Autochek, we can all come together and actually combine the results of our efforts and truly scale that growth.
So here we are running a very high inflationary environment in a number of African countries, including interest rate regime that has since gone heavenward. So, if I'm doing this financing with inflation, currency depreciation, and interest rate, does that make that vehicle financing a bit more expensive for me?
So taking a step back, inflation, it's actually worldwide right now, right? It's not just Africa. So what we are doing, what the beauty of Autochek is being able to just democratize that access and give you all the options. Our goal is being able to present to you the different options, and also with our decision models, being able to configure offers for you that's dependent on each customer, and also bringing all the financial partners in, and so you can get access to the different rates that are available across board.
Just makes it easy and cheap. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great evening. Mayokun Fadeyibi, Senior Vice President in charge of West Africa at Autochek.